All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to talk about building a seriously powerful vocabulary. And look, this isn't just about sounding smart, you know? It's about being more persuasive, more articulate, whether you're just firing off a quick email or you're deep in conversation with a friend. So, let's get right to it.
Have you ever been there? You cram a huge list of words for a test or just to improve yourself, and then, like a week later, poof, they're all gone. It is so frustrating, right? It almost feels like your brain just isn't wired for it. Well, it turns out there's a really good reason for that feeling. And this is the heart of the problem. Our brains are not wired to remember random, disconnected bits of information. A long, arbitrary list of words with no rhyme or reason, it's pretty much the least effective way to learn because there's nothing for that new information to grab onto. So, okay, if flashcard lists are out, what's in? The answer is a system. A method that actually works with the way your brain naturally learns, instead of fighting against it. We're talking about building connections and really understanding the words, not just, brute force memorization. And this whole system really just boils down to 3 simple steps. First, you're going to group words by a common theme, something like all or nothing. Second, you find the building blocks, the common prefixes and roots that unlock the meaning of tons of other words. And third, and this is crucial, you learn the words in context, using really memorable examples that make them stick for good. So enough talk. Let's put this system into action. We're going to use our first theme, all or nothing. We'll look at words that describe huge quantities and also teeny tiny quantities. And we're going to start on the all side of things, words that mean a lot. Okay, our first word is prodigious. Now this doesn't just mean big, it means enormous, extraordinary. We're talking mind-bogglingly huge. The key here is the unbelievable scale of it all. And this example just perfectly illustrates the point, doesn't it? I mean, the image of filling the entire Grand Canyon with ping pong balls. It's so vivid and so extreme, it perfectly captures what a prodigious task is. It's not just enormous, it's extraordinary. Next up on the all side, plethora. This isn't just a lot of something, it's an excess, an overabundance. Think way more than you could ever possibly need. This example just brings the word to life, huh? You can just imagine the sheer, overwhelming excess of problems that would come from having a bombing range in your backyard. It's a really memorable and kind of absurd way to lock in that meaning for good. Now remember step 2 of our system, finding the building blocks? Well, take a look at the prefix pro in our word prodigious. This little piece often signals a large amount of something. Think about words like prolific, meaning producing a lot, or proliferate, to grow or spread rapidly. Once you start spotting these patterns, it's like having a secret key to unlock a ton of new words. All right, we've covered the all side, the words of abundance. So now, let's flip the coin and look at the other extreme. We're heading over to the nothing side of our theme, words that describe scarcity and smallness. Our first nothing word is paucity, and this is pretty much the direct opposite of a plethora. It means you have an insufficiency of something, a scarcity. It's that feeling when you just don't have enough of what you need. And here's a perfect, totally practical example. The lack of something, the paucity of fresh veggies, directly causes a different action. It's a really clear cause and effect that makes the definition super easy to grasp. Now here's a word you might recognize, minuscule. But pay close attention to the spelling on this one because it can be tricky. M-I-N-U-S-C-U-L-E. It means exactly what it sounds like, something that is incredibly, incredibly tiny. And again, you gotta love this example. It's so witty and so visual. This sentence creates such a strong mental picture that it's pretty much impossible to forget what minuscule means. A tiny skirt. Simple as that. And this right here shows you the real power of learning things thematically. When you put these words right next to each other, your meanings become so much sharper. Prodigious versus minuscule, plethora versus paucity. By learning them as opposites, you're building this whole network of knowledge in your brain, and that makes every single word that much easier to remember. Okay, so we've covered 4 new words inside our all or nothing theme. How about we do a quick check to see how well they've stuck? It's time to put your brand new knowledge to the test. Ready?
Here's the first one. Fill in the blank. Many potential sponsors look upon donations to the orchestra as a waste, just money blank. What do you think?
Okay, the correct answer here is squandered. Squandered means to waste something, especially money or time, in a reckless and foolish manner. So just money squandered. Nice work if you got that one. And here's a second one. This is a great sentence. The old widow was so... She hung her tea bags out to dry, so she'd be able to use them again. Which word fits that description?
And the answer is parsimonious. Now, frugal means something similar, but parsimonious means unwilling to spend money or use resources, stingy or frugal to an extreme. And well, reusing tea bags is pretty extreme, so parsimonious is the perfect fit. You're getting the hang of this.
So, we've learned a method, we've learned a few new words, but what's the big picture here? You know, why does building a powerful vocabulary actually matter in the real world?
Because at the end of the day, having a great vocabulary isn't about sounding fancy or showing off. It's about precision. It gives you the power to say exactly what you mean, which makes you more persuasive and way more effective in pretty much everything you do. It's about bringing clarity to your ideas, not complexity.
Learning these words, well, that's just the first step. The next and most exciting step is actually using them to share your ideas with the world. So the real question isn't just about what you've learned today. It's what are you going to go on to build or create or communicate with your new vocabulary.